Do you think like big tech companies could become some form of utilities companies in the next 10 years? I mean, when we see Meta, Google, OpenAI essentially investing in power plants like nuclear, hydro, etc., and primarily for their data centers and AI algorithm, etc. But if this keeps going, essentially AI grows more and more, and data centers grow more and more, tech companies will maybe become the prime investors in power generation, which means they will be very much at the beginning of the entire value chain. I mean, do you think in some sort of not too distant world, those companies could become the new utilities?
I mean, I think there's two ways to look at this. So one, if that would to become, I think you're in a situation where probably, there will be a very different view in terms of how governments view them as well, right? So I think you kind of get into a question on regulation, et cetera, which is, what a lot of utilities are subject to. And I think that's driven by that kind of natural monopoly position and how important and essential the service is. The other question is, are those companies doing this at the moment because that's the fastest way to grow? But actually over time, do those assets sit well within on the balance sheet? So, to give a good example in the telecom space,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the mobile operators at the beginning, they owned and they basically built and owned all the infrastructure, including the towers, for example, right? But
Mm-hmm.
over time, once they've gone through that kind of growth and go into more stable operations, they didn't really see the benefit of owning infrastructure, and they were able to sell it to infrastructure investors. So you could potentially see something similar here where, yes, you could have
Okay.
very kind of fast growth at the moment, and therefore sometimes it's easier to do it yourself. But actually you see that over time, that's not the bread and butter, right? And therefore is the benefit of them actually divesting it and using that capital from divestment into areas of where they want to be developing.